Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect 3. Is this the ending? Is this going to be the last episode? Well, I suppose you'll be able to tell whether or not it is by the time you actually come around to viewing this. But we're very close to the end now.
Where did the Reapers come from? Did you create them?
My creators gave them form. I gave them function. They, in turn, give me purpose. The Reapers are a synthetic representation of my creators.
Leviathan.
Yes, they created me to oversee the relations between synthetic and organic life, to establish a connection. They became the first true Reaper. They did not approve, but it was the only solution.
You said that before. But how do the Reapers solve anything?
Organics create synthetics to improve their own existence, but those improvements have limits. To exceed those limits, synthetics must be allowed to evolve. They must, by definition, surpass their creators. The result is conflict, destruction, chaos. It is inevitable. Reapers harvest all life, organic and synthetic, preserving them before they are forever lost to this conflict.
How is this not conflict?
We're at war with the Reapers right now.
You may be in conflict with the Reapers, but they are not interested in war.
I find that hard to believe.
When fire burns, is it at war? Is it in conflict? Or is it simply doing what it was created to do? We are no different. We harvest your bodies, your knowledge, your creations. We preserve it, to be reborn in the form of a new Reaper. Like a cleansing fire, we restore balance. New life, both organic and synthetic, can once again flourish.
But this is not flourishing. Nothing can flourish. There is always going to be a limitation on how much anything can evolve, because as soon as it reaches this point, it gets stopped. It gets halted. This is not the pinnacle of evolution. This is a culling.
What do you know about the Crucible?
The device you refer to as the Crucible is little more than a power source. However, in combination with the Citadel and the relays, it is capable of releasing tremendous amounts of energy throughout the galaxy. It is crude, but effective and adaptive in its design.
Who designed it?
You would not know them, and there is not enough time to explain.
Oh, that was dismissive.
We first noted the concept for this device several cycles ago. With each passing cycle, the design has no doubt evolved.
Why didn't you stop it?
We believed the concept had been eradicated. Clearly, organics are more resourceful than we realized.
Really?
But you're taking away our future. Without future, we have no hope. Without hope, we might as well be machines, programmed to do what we're told.
You have hope, more than you think. The fact that you are standing here, the first organic ever, proves it. But it also proves my solution won't work anymore.
What do you mean?
So now what?
We find a new solution.
Why are you telling me this? Why help me?
You have altered the variables.
What do you mean?
Yeah, please
The
explain.
Crucible changed me, created new possibilities, but I can't make them happen. If there is to be a new solution, you must act. It is now in your power to destroy us. But be warned, others will be destroyed as well. The Crucible will not discriminate. All synthetics will be targeted. Even you are partly synthetic.
What exactly will happen?
Your crucible device appears to be largely intact. However, the effects of the blast will not be constrained to the Reapers. Technology you rely on will be affected, but those who survive should have little difficulty repairing the damage. There will still be losses, but no more than what has already been lost.
But the Reapers will be destroyed?
Yes, but the peace won't last. Soon, your children will create synthetics, and then the chaos will come back.
There has to be another way.
There is.
Oh?
You could instead use the energy of the Crucible to seize control of the Reapers.
Wait, you're saying that the elusive
The
man...
elusive man was right after all.
Yes, but he could never have taken control, because we already controlled him.
But I can?
You will die. You will control us, but you will lose everything you have.
How can I control the Reapers if I'm dead?
Your corporeal form will be dissolved, but your thoughts and even your memories will continue.
Whoa, head popped up.
Your connection to your kind will be lost, though you will remain aware of their existence.
But the Reapers will obey me?
Yes. We will be yours to control and direct as you see fit.
Really?
There is another solution. Synthesis.
And that is?
Add your energy to the crucibles. The chain reaction will combine all synthetic and organic life into a new framework. A new DNA.
How?
Explain how my energy can be added to the Crucible.
Your organic energy, the essence of who and what you are, will be broken down and then dispersed.
To do what, exactly?
The energy of the Crucible, released in this way, will alter the matrix of all organic life in the galaxy. Organics seek perfection through technology. Synthetics seek perfection through understanding. Organics will be perfected by integrating fully with synthetic technology. Synthetics, in turn, will finally have full understanding of organics. It is the ideal solution. Now that we know it is possible, it is inevitable we will reach synthesis.
Why couldn't you do it sooner?
That's a
We
very
have
good question.
tried a similar solution in the past, but it has always failed.
Why?
Because the organics were not ready. It is not something that can be forced. You are ready, and you may choose it.
So, you get to this point in the game, and you're given 3 options. You are given the choice to proceed with the plan to destroy all Reapers. You are given the option to do as both Saren and the Elusive Man have suggested and to try and control the Reapers. Or, you're given the option to try and somehow synthesize both organic and synthetic life. This is actually an option that is only available to you if you reach a certain threshold with your war assets. Your effective military strength actually has to be fairly high in order to be able to unlock that. Otherwise, you either have access to either control or destroy. Or quite possibly both if you only did the Mass Effect 2 Genesis DLC in order to play this game. At least that's been my understanding. If you know more about that, feel free to add in the comments. But yeah, it seems like everything, the entire journey from the first game to here, ends up boiling down to just 3 choices. And for a lot of people, that was very frustrating. To have everything reduced to 3 choices, and some of them didn't even seem to make sense. After all, how can simply throwing yourself into an energy beam possibly rearrange the DNA of all organic creatures in the galaxy. I don't think they really fully explain it, but then again, the mechanics of something like that would have to be fairly complicated, and probably require a whole book, literally a novel, just to be able to explain it. That said, I'm skeptical of the whole thing, and one of the things that the extended cut ended up providing is the option to refuse. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showcasing all 4 of the endings of this game. There are 4 now, because with the extended cut they added another solution that actually would fit with role-playing purposes. Originally there were 3, and with the disappointment in those 3 options, I wanted to take the time to kind of explore each of them. I happen to like the various endings of this game. I know that that's a controversial opinion. I believe that the story does lead up to this point, and that there are additional points to be made about the story that are not necessarily made explicit here, but are heavily implied through symbolism and a lot of deductive reasoning, which a lot of the internet has already done. I'm going to be going through these in order of least favorite to favorite, or most canon, at least for me. And a lot of this has, taken some decision and some debating over which ones I find to be the most appropriate. I do like all of them, but some more than others. And I'm starting with Refuse, the Refuse ending, just to show what happens and to talk about why I feel that it fits.
You're asking me to change everything, everyone. I can't make that decision. I won't.
Why not? Synthetics are already part of you. Can you imagine your life without them?
That's beside the point.
Your time is at an end. You must decide.
I reject these choices. I refuse.
No. I'm gonna end this war on my terms.
Then you will die knowing that you failed to save everything you fought for.
They give you 3 opportunities to basically tell off this kid. And it's for a good reason, because the other 3 choices do technically fit in with the narrative up until this point. But it is also true that it is entirely possible for Shepard to refuse to play along with this game. After all, it is incredibly suspicious and fishy.
I fight for freedom. Mine and everyone's. I fight for the right to choose our own fate. And if I die, I'll die knowing that I did everything I could to stop you. And I'll die free.
So be it.
Oh, we made it mad.
The cycle continues.
The Reapers resume their battle, almost with renewed fervor. I don't think the Organics can win this. The Crucible disengages. And sometime...
If you're hearing this, then there is still hope. Hope that you can avoid the same mistakes we made. We fought the Reapers, but we failed to stop them. We did everything we could. We built the Crucible, but it didn't work. We fought as a united galaxy, but it wasn't enough. I only hope the information in this capsule is enough to help you before it's too late. My name is Dr. Liara T'Soni. Herein lies the recounting of our war with the Reapers.
So, her message was sent into the next cycle. That's terribly anticlimactic in some ways, isn't it? It didn't exactly turn out the way that you would expect this game to end. The big battle was in fact that overwhelming swarm in the middle of London. Everything else, there was no big final battle with the Reapers, there was no epic showdown with Harbinger or anything. It was a conversation with a child? Or at least something taking the guise of a child. So I can certainly understand where the disappointment might have even come in. I can see where the disappointment comes in, especially with that ending, because there's almost nothing really viscerally satisfying about it. That said, the implication is there that even if this cycle, that Shepard themselves, did not actually stop the Reapers, that all of the work to preserve this information made it through into the next cycle. That Liara's work will stand the test of time, and hopefully someone in the next cycle will be able to dig through and figure it out. Will be able to pull out the information that they need in order to actually not only build the Crucible now with complete information, but also with all of the information that Liara decided to store as important. So there's hope. There is hope that the next cycle would be able to fight the Reapers. Now, I do like this ending for that, and there will be a little more on that once we get past the credits. But it is interesting that it comes down to a choice made by Shepard. There's something to be said that Shepard's determination is what pulled them through. Their sheer willpower is what pushed them through to the end, to actually put them at that point. The first organic ever, says the Catalyst, to actually stand in that room with them. So, being the first organic to get to that point, Shepard is the one given the choice. There are a lot of questions still to be raised, but as I said, I'm going to be going through each of the endings and talking about how they each address many of the questions that are raised about this. I'm also going to be elaborating a lot further on why there is more to what's going on. I pointed out before that this was the child that disappeared. Even in the very beginning, I was pointing out that it seemed like the only one that could interact with this child was Shepard. The only one who seemed to even sense that the child was there was Shepard. I mean, wouldn't any human being seeing a child scrambling for one of those rescue ships help pull the child on? It was almost elaborately staged and something that could only be seen through Shepard's senses, which then calls into question, how much of Shepard's senses can we trust? Especially by this point in the series. And this is kind of a difficult thing, because we have to trust that our perception through these games is accurate. We have to trust that what we're seeing is true. We have to trust that what we are presented with as a player is, in some way, something that we can trust to act on. And I will say that it is not a great writing thing. Like, having narrative, the unreliable narrator be a trope can be played well. I liked how they did some of that with Dragon Age 2. That you can have those moments with Varric where the truth was very clearly obscured in some way, which does call into question the accuracy of everything that he's telling him, as well as fixing some of the potential holes in the story. that it's just a limited perspective thing. But in a game like this, where we're not introduced to the concept explicitly that Shepard's senses cannot be trusted, for whatever reason, it can be disappointing to get to a certain point in this game and, well, be presented with this and not feel like it's a very satisfying or informative thing. It felt like a lot of things were being introduced that were over our head. High concept things about the philosophy and the nature of humanity, of organics, of synthetic life, of artificial intelligence, and have it boiled down to a simple choice. Yes, I'm doing a lot of talking right now, because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the story of this game and this game series. After all, the conflict between organics and synthetics was introduced very much, even just in the first game. Even from some of the first enemies that you fight, the Geth. I mean, you are introduced to the idea that synthetics are in some way an enemy of organics. And over the course of the series, that comes into question several times, especially with the introduction of Legion and other entities that are artificially intelligent, such as EDI, that end up being not just allies, but friends. So this is a conflict that has been building since the first game. It's just one that not everyone necessarily expected to come into the foreground like this. That it comes down to more of a philosophical debate than it does an actual full-scale conflict with an epic shootout between Shepard and some Reaper or some other grand figure that's behind everything. So, I think that this story is a lot more about the subtle interactions between Shepard and the world around them, especially getting to this point. I believe we are closing in on the end of the credits, at which point there is another cutscene that I believe is also what helps to make this ending actually very appropriate. All right.
Did that all really happen?
We'll never know exactly what it was like, but yes, the archives tell the true story of those who came before us. They fought a terrible war, so we wouldn't have to.
And that's why we have peace.
Yes, without everything they accomplished, without the information they passed down, we too would be threatened.
What else do we know about the Shepard?
Just what we have in the archives. But I've only told you a few of the stories.
Can you tell me another one, please?
It's getting late, but okay. One more story.
It kind of sounds like Samara. Anyway, so that is what the refuse ending does, is it gives the next cycle a chance to stop the Reapers. Congratulations on bringing an end to the Reaper threat. Commander Shepard has become a legend, and from here on, you can continue to build that legend. It has been a long journey for Shepard and for the team here at BioWare, and like Shepard, we couldn't have done it alone. The Mass Effect trilogy began as the vision of a small team, but over the years it has grown. That growth has been fueled and shaped by the feedback and support of our player community. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and we look forward to sharing further adventures with you in the Mass Effect universe. The Mass Effect team. Okay. So this is probably going to take us back to the ship, I believe. Yep. Because this gives you the opportunity to play other DLC, just in case, you know, like if you wanted to go back to the Citadel and play stuff there. So a time before the conflict on Earth. As it is, this is not the final episode. Excuse me. But I will see you next time, where we approach some of the other endings, and talk a little bit more about the philosophy behind them, and why I think they work. Hope to see you then.